Friday, April 29th, year of our Lord 2022. Welcome back for after a bit of a long hiatus. It's been almost 2 months, so
It has not been that long.
it's been like 6 weeks, maybe.
It's been like a month.
Well, it feels longer.
Yeah, it does feel longer. I'm sad in my heart. I'm sad. No, what we were talking about was like
Current events. Where are we with the world?
I don't know.
I'm thinking about maybe doing a format. There's 4 things we have to hit: current events, politics, if they're relevant, and then sports.
No,
your little sports segment, and then pop culture, new or old shit.
All right, well, we can just do this.
Yeah.
I'm going to follow your lead on this one. Usually I kind of take over and talk about all kinds of crazy horse shit. So
It's okay, dude.
No. So like,
but those are just like 4 things if we find ourselves
I
in
got
a lull.
you. Nah, I'll let you run with it. But one thing I did want to touch on before we get into all that.
Sure.
What you're talking about was like the Killer's first album, like the Lightning in a Ball.
Yeah, Hot Fuzz.
Yeah,
It's great.
Yeah, it was great.
Check it out.
And I was trying to think like what are the albums for you where like every single song on the whole album was a hit. For me, like was Matchbox 20, Yourself or Something Like You.
Yeah.
There's not one song on there that I was like, man, this one kind of sucks. Like I would have said the Wallflowers, but there's like one or two songs where I'm just like,
There's a reason why that album went platinum.
yeah, and it was amazing, but like it bringing down the horse. But I'm like, there's like one song or two songs on there where I was just like, I'm not a fan.
Yeah, they were just filler.
For the most part, it's like one of my favorite albums. But like,
All killer, no filler.
but Yourself or Something Like You, every song was a hit. Like I loved every one of them.
Well, there's a reason that album sold. It went platinum
Yeah.
back when people bought CDs.
But I mean,
things.
how many albums can you think of
I can think of quite a few.
where every single song was amazing?
Yeah.
There was no like, okay, like, okay, give me some examples because I can
Dark-
only think of a couple.
Dark Side of the Moon, Pink Floyd.
Oh yeah, I remember whenever
The Wall.
yeah.
Both discs.
Yeah, there,
Um,
there was an edible where it just kind of hit, and I was like,
Yeah. That might be a little intense for an edible.
yeah,
Um,
I'm aware. I thought that's what you told me to listen to. I
Yeah,
was
it's-
freaking out for 3 hours.
And it's funny, all those albums kind of promote the use of psychedelics. But if you take psychedelics and listen to those albums, they don't.
It feels like that's the Scarecrow from Batman Begins.
Yeah,
like,
it's not.
it's
It's
like-
not as pleasurable as you would think.
I was like, I tell you that.
So I've heard.
I'll take you places, but I didn't know if they're places you really want to go.
didn't tell you there were places you'd want to go.
Yeah.
And you know what? He's right.
Okay. What else? Give me one more, because like I'm really drawing blanks. Oh, Street Fighter soundtrack. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't know. It's been I can't make that judgment. I just remember like maybe 2 or 3 songs that were dope. But I do remember listening to that album all the way through because, like, from a young age, I had a predilection towards listening to whole albums back to front, and even just getting through them.
Same here.
Like, well,
Like
do
Animosity
soundtracks count, or are we just going with like single artists that put out?
Let's go single artists
Put
because
up-
there is some pretty, really good soundtracks out there.
Yeah.
I mean, Titanic, hard to beat that one.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how you feel about it, but I mean, like, there's a few metal albums I could definitely think of.
Okay, give me one.
Master of Puppets by Metallica.
That
I mean,
I don't know. I don't know how I forgot about that one, but yeah, it's a goodie.
That one's back to the front, solid gold.
Yeah.
And then you probably don't. I mean, I've mentioned this before on the podcast, but Operation Mindcrime and Empire by Queensryche.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Dude,
both
I
of
think
those
that's
albums.
one of my uncle's favorite albums, actually.
Both of those albums
He loves
are killer,
Queensryche.
and I've said before, Operation Mindcrime is essentially talking about now. It could be now. It could be set in these times.
What is that?
Operation Mindcrime?
Uh-huh.
It's basically it's about a it's a concept album.
Is that the band?
No, the name of the album is Operation Mindcrime.
What is
The
the
band was Queensryche. Yeah, that's the album that came before Empire.
I don't remember that.
That's the one that like lit up their fan base.
no shit.
It tells a narrative story. It's a long album. They even did a part 2 later on down the road, like in the 2000s.
Interesting.
Yeah.
They came out in the 80s, right?
It tells a story about an underground anarchist revolution. Basically about how this kid gets brainwashed. He he gets pulled into this anarchist movement, which is essentially like a neo-fascist communist type thing. Like you could literally just transpose anybody in Antifa with the central character. How he gets pulled into this thing. They promise him great things. They put him out front as a revolutionary, and then they basically turn him into a terrorist essentially. And he meets up with this chick, Sister Mary. She used to be a hooker, but then she becomes a nun or whatever, and then they have a thing or whatever, and it like Anarchy Acts is like it's an underground revolution working overtime. It's a great, it's a good album. It's definitely worth a listen to back to front.
Well, I mean, all Anarchy isn't that bad.
Other albums, other albums. Right off the top of my head.
I don't know. I think Kill 'Em All was pretty solid. No,
I mean, solid. Ride the Lightning back to the front. Kill 'Em All is good for their first incursion. I personally I'm not like crazy about that album.
Yeah.
But like at the age that I heard certain things.
Now, if you want to talk about Saint Anger, that's a whole different.
Oh my god. Yeah. If that was the first Metallica album that you ever heard, I'm sorry.
But never, ever. It's like you got the benefit of the doubt because of all the previous work, and then you just, I don't know what you did, but you did it wrong, and you should be punished.
Yep.
Honestly, I didn't even like the Garage Inc. shit either.
I liked it a lot. There was because of the time it came out, and I was in a metal phase big time, so I really liked Metallica.
Give me a beer.
Oh yes.
Yeah, I mean, like, there was a couple of good ones on there. It's just, I don't know. It rang false for me. It's just like you have an idea of Metallica in your head, and some of the stuff they did, some of the cover-ish shit, and like, I'm good.
Yeah, but I remember reading in Entertainment Weekly before the album came out and all the press in anticipation. I was just like, it might be cool but it's like the other songs on that record, like the widely known, the lesser known stuff, the lesser known covers that didn't hit the radio.
Yeah,
like they did a Blue Oyster Cult song.
Yeah,
Astronomy. That's a good song.
Yeah, no, it was all right.
Yeah. Okay. Other well, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, like a bunch out of the Beatles catalog. A lot of those.
I mean,
Abbey Road.
Yeah.
Yeah, the entire B side is legendary, and then A side's pretty killer too. And they, I mean those.
I mean, just imagine
Super Unknown by Soundgarden. I still go back. I just like whenever I ever have
Soundgarden. To me, is like Chris Cornell is probably one of the best vocalists.
Yeah, of that era.
Yeah,
or like of the spectrum of like awesome male vocalists, like
Okay, so like. If we're talking about singers.
Bands that have specific sounds, you notice, kind of fall in that line. Like, no other bands sound like those bands, but they have these awesome legendary albums.
Well, yeah, but, okay, so I was having this conversation before.
Chains. Yeah, here we go. You got me started. It's like, I still listen to these albums.
Yeah, I was having this conversation before. If you had to pick, not a Mount Rushmore, but you had to pick one person from each gender, not 50 genders, but one one from each.
Yeah.
Who would you put the best female singer, just voice-wise, and the best male singer, voice-wise? Who are you going?
Well, how are we quantifying? Are we quantifying it by like range, delivery, storytelling?
We're talking about all around great singer, like all the intangibles you want to fucking come up with, but you have to pick one. If you have your starting lineup, who is the singer of your band?
The singer of a band?
No, just a band. Doesn't matter.
Band versus solo artist, or
yes,
band.
Well, okay. It doesn't matter. No. I'm just talking about like if you're in it, and it's like fuck, I want that one. I mean, yeah, I guess it does kind of.
If I had to take my pick,
yeah, and this thing. Okay, let's say that you're doing a
fucking Chris Cornell. I mean, he's probably my number one because he has the well-rounded everything.
Yeah.
Number two would be
no. You get one.
Okay.
Because I got one, you get one.
Okay. Well, yeah.
I'm probably going Freddie Mercury.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Chris Cornell would be up there for me, but
yeah,
I mean, you're talking about who can hit everything.
Yeah, it's also delivery,
and he can span
Yeah, no, he has
Different things.
he had an amazing range, but so did Chris Cornell. But at the same
True.
time, I also kind of approach it from a musician standpoint in a sense that if I was going to be in a band, the kind of band that would have, the type of preferred frontman, it would be Chris Cornell.
Yeah.
I
But see, that's
hands
a
down.
specific band. Like, let's say that you had a band and you just did random covers, ranging everything. I mean, top to bottom, everything across the board. Like they're just picking random shit. I think I'm still. I think I like my pick.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty legendary.
Me and Chris Cornell's good. I mean, like I love him as a musician, vocalist, artist.
But he was a core songwriter in the band too.
Yeah.
I mean, he I'm not saying he carried the band, but like without him, they wouldn't have been.
Well, no, that's
there's
true. But
there's
that's
a lot of talent in that
that's
band.
that's a different aspect of it. I'm talking about when you hey, you're going out there and you're gonna go fucking hear a voice. Which voice do you want to hear from a guy? So that's why I picked mine. You pick your. I mean, obviously we're doing. Now, what about ladies?
Ladies.
That
if I'm in a band,
that hits a powerful thing. Honestly, I had mine before. I'm going to Dell now.
Yeah, I figured you would.
Yeah, like I mean, I understand that I've been kind of on a weird kick about it, but I mean, you hear her voice and it kind of brings you to your knees, and you just want to dance,
Yeah,
and you're just
sure.
like you want to cry at the same time.
The thing
It's
about
like,
Adele, though, it's like a band behind her might actually diminish her. Like she's one of those. She's better where it's like whoever's backing her is literally there serving.
That's why I kinda
serving
changed-
what she does.
that's what I'm kind of
completely. She's the spotlight diva.
Yeah,
you know?
that's why I kind of
Band's
changed
in the
it
dark.
To
She's in the light.
that's why I changed it to a voice you want to hear.
Yeah.
Fuck the band part.
Okay.
Take
voice
that
you
out of
wanna
it.
hear.
You just want to hear the voice.
Oh. Okay. Well. Well, I mean, Maynard from Tool would be up there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but that's not a chick.
That's not a chick.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to call him that, I mean, go ahead. The guy's a fucking jujitsu guy. He's gonna fucking take you down, dude.
Females. Give me a bit. Think about that. No. These women are they're starting to pop into my head, but I'm like, no, not quite. I mean, that's cool, but no.
I mean, it's weird to say, but Miley Cyrus is a fucking amazing singer.
Yeah.
But
I would have liked to hear what she sounded like if she hadn't like gone through Hollywood type living, because she had a like Party in the USA. I had never heard the song before. The first time I heard it, when I was pedicabing in Austin, Texas, I was like, "Hands up to play my songs, butterfly fly away," and I'm like, "Man, that's catchy as shit."
It is, and it's like, first of all, don't even mind where my hands are going right now. It's like, don't worry about why they're in the air. I mean, you just shut up.
Everybody like, yeah. But
I always liked her. I like Celine Dion. I like
of course.
Stevie Nicks.
Mariah Carey and
that's-
both Whitney Houston have amazing ranges.
Whitney
They
Houston-
have supernatural like ranges when
Dude.
those squeaky high squealy notes.
Whitney Houston was my pick before I picked Adele.
Yeah.
Because Whitney Houston, she's a banger, dude. Like Mariah Carey, she was up there too. Like she's up.
Yeah.
I mean, you just hear the voice. Like fuck all the personal shit. You're just talking about just listening to someone sing. It's like, God, that shit hits you. But like Whitney Houston, that was, man, that one's rough. But Adele, yeah, I'm sticking with that one. She's just too good.
Yeah, she's also modern times, and she kind of captures the spectrum of time as well, because she encompasses all the stuff that came before, and she's current.
And she's somebody who's like,
but it's the truth of the emotion that's delivered in every performance that's caught.
I mean, she can catch the imagination of a fucking 10-year-old or a 90-year-old.
Yeah, it's like Disney, back when it was good.
Yeah. I mean, it's still good. It's great.
That's another male vocalist, Elton John.
Oh, yeah.
He just a silky smooth baritone.
He was, I think he was like my third.
Yeah. We don't have to go into country.
Okay,
there's plenty.
You still haven't picked a female.
I haven't. Well, I mean, it's weird. Avril Lavigne has an appeal too. Back when she's a bit younger. I mean, she still probably has the talent now.
Oh, speaking, that's a weird reason. Weird thing. You know, she's coming out with another album right now.
Yeah, no, she got.
Did you see the little cover pictures? Okay. You keep thinking.
But
because my little friend text group, one of our I'll just say because if I say
your little group chat,
if I described him, then he'd know. But yeah.
Oh my word! It is a good thing that Wow.
Yep.
That's some business right there, buddy.
Yeah. So you're welcome on that one.
Thank you. Thank you.
But yeah, so who you picking all around like, hey, all right, this is my number 1 draft pick. Speaking of, while the draft's going on right now.
Yeah. Shit, I don't know. Celine Dion in a pinch. I
mean, she's got a good voice. What about the chick from Florence and the Machine?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I remember how much you liked her back in the day.
Yeah. Well, I still like.
What is her
name? She gets lost in the wash, but yeah, for sure. Her name is. I think her.
I want to keep saying Florence Henderson, but that doesn't sound right.
Maybe we should look it up.
But yeah, no, because she has that vibrato shit that you like.
But yeah,
and it's great.
But it's a natural emotion. It's not that I like the vibrato when it's like real or when it's.
That's what I'm talking about. But you like it with her. I'm not talking about just people just randomly.
Yeah, she's dreamy. Like she's got a dreamy ass voice. Like you can, like Adele, you can get lost in that shit.
Yeah,
and I guess
yeah, because
I'll go with the lady from Florence and the Machine. Let's find out what her name is. Or Frances what's her name from the Cranberries?
Oh, fucking O'Houlihan. I don't know her name. I don't know.
Something Irish.
Yeah, some Irish fucking like.
Fitzgerald O'Houlihan Flanagan
Gilligan's
O'Shaughnessy O'Brien.
Yeah, I mean that's probably. It'd be funny if it was like some kind of like. Oh, you know what I figured out today, or not today, yesterday? That confab is an actual word. It's not like a abbreviation.
That word escapes me.
Yeah. But he was like, oh, it's a confab of this. I'm like, are you just making up words right now? I was like, what does that even mean? And he said, oh, well, confab. And he just explained it to me. And I was half paying attention because I was lost in like, that's not a real word. He was like, no. And he looked it up and I was like, hold on. It's not an abbreviation. It's not short for like what, anything? No. I was like, oh, my brain's dumb.
That's a hyphenate. That's when I'm hyphenated. Florence Welsh.
Yeah, I was close.
Yeah.
Florence and the Machine.
Redhead.
Florence against the Machine.
Yeah. Her. She's pretty solid.
All right, cool.
And then the lady from Cranberries.
Yeah, what? Frances Zombie. I think that is right. Yeah, that sounds right. What is it? It's like Francis Smith. Like, oh, fuck.
No, it's Dolores O'Riordan. Reardon. Not Francis. Sorry, Dolores O'Riordan. I had her last name correct.
There you go.
I don't know. Francis just seemed like it was right. No. Dolores O'Riordan. Rest in peace.
Hey, what about that chick from Garbage? What was her name? The stupid girl chick.
Shirley
Manson?
Could have been.
I think that's right.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
She's still.
What about Joan Osborne?
She's still alive and healthy. I mean, she's cool in a 90s sort of way. Alanis Morissette also in her heyday.
Yeah.
Shout out to it, ladies. We're giving you all the props. I never said we were sexist. That much.
It's like, I don't have a problem with all of your kind, just a lot of them.
Hey. Humans are douchebags.
Yeah. It's like that one thing that I was listening to.
No one's perfect. I don't care who you are.
I was listening to Tom Segura this morning, and he was talking about, he's like, this is the best advice I ever got. And he goes up. It's like, hey, there's a baby crying over there. And he goes, yeah, sometimes people suck. And he's like, that's the best advice I ever heard. He's like, you're
Shirley
right.
Manson.
Shirley Manson. Nice.
But sorry, say that again.
It was like he was talking about how the best advice he ever got. He went to go complain about something, and he goes, yeah, sometimes people suck. And he's like, yeah, he's right. Sometimes people suck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all have our suck moments.
All right. Well, I know that you're itching to talk about politics. So
Not really.
Let's do it.
I mean, there's not really. I mean, we could talk about what everybody else is talking about.
What is everybody else talking about?
Elon Musk bought Twitter. I mean, do you want to
I heard
riff on that or what?
Well, I heard he was going to shut it down, but I think that's bullshit.
No, he's not. He's absolutely not. And the left is losing their fucking minds.
Why?
Because they took their big toy away. Like, here's a funny thing. Tim Pool called it out, and a whole bunch of other people from their random feeds, and even Tucker Carlson called it out. All of a sudden, all these conservative voices on Twitter are getting, like, swaths of followers because suspectedly, and it's pretty much confirmed at this point, that Twitter was intentionally, like...
I mean, is it...
Their algorithms were intentionally geared at suppressing conservative voices.
Is it absolutely confirmed, or is it just like, oh, well... I mean, pretty much.
Well, the next day,
I'm pretty much
the next day after the deal was done, people were getting floods of followers and subscribers, floods of followers and everything.
Yeah,
and people were like, "Holy shit!" Like people were super chatting on other people's platforms, like, "Yeah, the last story I shared before my account got canceled was the Hunter Biden laptop story, and now it's back." What do you think?
Well, I think
I take it you haven't been following the story.
Well, no. It's not that. It's
not that you don't want it. It's just
well, no.
You might be busy, but man, this is the story.
No. Like so, the hard time that I have trusting that.
Right. Okay. Before you speak on that, let me just say this: we don't know what Elon Musk's ultimate intentions are. So far, so good. And I will add more to this later. But for right now. This was a huge win for, right now, all things considered, taking it at face value, dude, one of the major political strongholds in the culture and the way that information and people express themselves was literally just yanked, that the left had a strong hold on. Let's be honest. They canceled, they're even like Elon Musk extended an olive branch. You can come back to old Mr. Trump. You can come on back, but he don't want to.
He don't want to. Yeah.
He don't want to.
I heard about that.
I think he will eventually, though. But yeah, it's just because Truth Social was not doing so well on launch. Like it's getting a bunch of Elon directed a whole bunch of people. He.
So are we gonna start tweeting now?
I was going to say that leads me to my next point.
Hold on, let me finish this.
Okay. Go ahead. Please.
Put a pin in that.
Please put a pin in it.
Because this would be quick. So my only concern, because I have a huge distrust, just
of
most things.
Rightly so, healthy,
but
as it should be now.
Well, I mean, it's not even just now. I mean, even let's say that. Everybody was like, oh, well, the news wasn't blatantly doing the shit that they've been doing for years.
Yeah.
Right? That nobody actually knew.
The legacy media and all that stuff.
Let's say that
the corporate-driven media.
Because, I don't know, 15 years ago,
there wasn't much.
Yeah.
That was it. That was the.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, people weren't fucking screaming about this shit. You're just like, okay, that sounds right. And even me, I don't know if I believe that shit. That something doesn't seem right. Just doesn't sound right to me. But anyway, when they're like, oh, well, the left is losing their minds.
Us versus them type stuff.
Yeah, and it just I think whenever they put that kind of shit out there, you're just piling on to the same shit. So why does that have to be like that? It's like, oh, well, they have, they're losing their minds over this shit. I mean, are they really? No, I'm talking about all the fucking Democrats. Are they all losing their fucking minds? I'm sure they're not.
That's why that's why their own version of the Biden administration is starting to kind of push out its own little ministry of truth.
But I'm talking about, look about Democrats themselves. how many of them are actually losing their minds? Are you talking about 100% of the Democrats? Is it 90%?
Well,
or is it like 10%?
the normalized
the ones that are actually getting out there and being like, I'm upset because they have nothing better.
Well, that's unfortunate. Well, what you're talking about is those people actually make up the majority of the party now, because your moderate Democrats have been pushed to the right, and so it's
I think they're more pushed
between cancel culture, between all that the horse shit going on at Disney, and the grooming stuff and all that stuff, and all the fucked up shit like between all those cultural institutions have literally pushed out parents.
I mean, how
Disney
mad
has
can you
lost
be?
$60 million.
Dude, how mad can you actually be at Disney? And this is why. Here's my point on this.
You haven't seen much. You haven't seen much of like their actual corporate meetings getting leaked out and shit of their executives talking about forcing more.
Bottom line, the corporate fucking people, all the corporations, they care about one thing.
You'd think that, right?
Money.
Apparently, activism has a stronger hold with some of these people.
Okay, now tell me, like, what are these leaked meetings?
Well, they were literally trying to force these the content coming out, and they've lost so many subscribers.
No, I heard about that, but like, okay, they're forcing what?
They were gonna essentially wedge into all the Disney stories going forward. They were gonna force transgender and gay and specific LGBTQ characters and marginalized groups, as it were. They were gonna literally try to wedge that into all material going forward.
Why? Why do you think that is?
Why do I think that is?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's from the corporate down, man.
Yeah. Again, why do you think that they're trying to do that? Do you think that they're going to try to do that fucking 10 years ago? Why do you think?
No.
No. Why do you think they're trying to do that?
Why do I think they're trying to do that?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they thought probably because it would sell, but guess what? It's not. Their stock is fucking tanking.
You think they're going to go right back to how they're doing things as business? Whether it comes.
It depends on it depends on how management changes.
It doesn't.
They literally have to restructure.
No. The thing
I mean, the damage is done, dude.
I think
it's going to take a while to recover.
Oh no, of course, but it will. Let's be real.
If people get smart, yeah. But here's the thing, like.
Well, hold on.
Right.
Here's my point on this: is they saw an opportunity.
Yeah, but not everybody thinks business anymore. Like there's more. That's the thing. Like that's why that shit is out there. Like the moniker "Go Woke, Go Broke," because it gets to a point where people get more hooked on the cultural power of the zeitgeist and everything, and that ends up being the main driving force. And they get this sense of self-righteousness, very cult-like.
Okay, but. Here's the whole thing. Let's say tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not going to happen. Let's say tomorrow, the whole woke movement and all that other shit that's been fucking dying down, honestly. You're not getting.
It is now.
You're not getting blasted with it left and right.
Yeah.
But let's say that it completely just like, you know what?
It's because it was losing. It's losing.
I know. They're fucking cowards. It's like, hey, you know what? I respect
it's losing. It's losing momentum. It's lost traction with the public.
Yeah,
like the public's not putting up with it anymore.
This is what I'm getting at. Let's say tomorrow the whole movement
wasn't supposed to get out, by the way.
Fuck them. I don't give a shit. I love Disney. You know, I grew up on it. I love Disney up until about.
I cancel my subscription.
Yeah, well, I mean, whatever.
My advocate to most parents is if you don't don't want your kids getting indoctrinated with that horse shit, just buy their favorite movies and then cancel your fucking subscription.
Okay. Anyway, to finish my fucking point.
I mean, yeah, okay.
Yeah, to finish my point. I'm saying, let's say the woke movement and all this other bullshit just says, you know what, fuck this. Let's go fucking worry about deforestation or fucking climate change or something else. Let's.
Well, that was all wrapped up in it.
Okay, God damn it, woman. I'm saying, let's say that they focus their energy on something else and they fuck the culture, fucking wars and the gender shit and all that other. They just say, fuck this. We're going to go focus our attention somewhere else. Do you think that Disney is not going to be like, oh, okay, cool. We're going to go back to fucking trying to, since we're not going to get them at all, and they're done with their bullshit movement. All right, we're going to go back to business as usual.
Well,
they're not going to keep trying to like, you know what? Let's keep trying to put trans. They're not going to do that shit. Fucking.
Well, they're not now.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like if that shit went away,
you heard what happened in Florida, right?
It would be a complete 180.
You heard what happened in Florida,
That
right?
don't say gay shit.
Well, on the back end of that, you know what happened, right? Florida legislature revoked.
You know I don't know what happened. So.
Okay, well, the Florida legislature, under the direction of Ron DeSantis, literally revoked special privileges to Disney theme parks. They literally had self-governing status and tax-exempt status to be their own self-governed entity.
Like a church?
Not necessarily as a non-for-profit, but they were essentially acting as their own county.
Well,
in a
tax
way.
exempt. That's churches.
Yeah, right, but it goes beyond that. They could literally have their own nuclear power plant. They could have their own water facilities. They could have their own infrastructure.
You're
that
saying
a
they
town-
could,
they
but
could
they
essentially-
can't now.
Right. No, that's been yanked out. They've had it for several decades.
Nobody should have that.
Yeah, well, it was a special deal back
doesn't
in the
matter.
day
They
when Walt Disney was running things.
Well, they don't fucking have it now, so who cares?
Yep. They went too far and they fucked up. That's why That's why they backed the fuck off. That's why they backed the fuck off, because as soon as politics got involved, they hit the gas too hard
Well,
on
it's their-
politics.
Their own fucking
and they
fault.
That's right.
They should have. You know
And
what?
now you're starting to get it.
You know what? Fucking Disney should have done.
What's that?
Fuck you. I'm gonna keep doing what we're doing.
Yeah, well,
No, I'm talking about what they.
I mean, they
should-
could and go bankrupt.
No, I'm not talking about what they're doing now. Before they shifted, they said,
Oh, you mean go back to what works?
no. I'm
Like having real
I'm talking
talented
about-
people.
I'm not. I'm talking about instead of like, oh, we're gonna buy into this shit. Like, nah, fuck you. Like, don't watch. I don't care. We're gonna keep doing the business as usual. If you don't like it, whatever. We got millions and millions of people who love our shit. You can kiss our ass.
Well, dude, I mean,
I understand why they
going
did
back to the covers on the videotapes, the stuff that we all
Yeah,
talked
we
about.
remember.
And then the Lion
Little
King,
Mermaid.
the Lion King, Little
Yeah.
Mermaid cover that you can't get no more.
Lit-
They had Dex on the cover.
it. Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, it was subtle, and then you know, and then it wasn't so subtle. It took about but for 30 years of evolution, and it gradually. I mean, let's be honest, dude. Every gay person you ever known was like dynamite about Disney. Not every. Sorry, that's a little general. But I mean, I went to theater
There was
school.
a good population
I went
of
to
the
theater
gays
school.
that liked
Most
it,
of them kids knew all them tunes. I knew how to sing them.
I liked
yeah.
them.
Yeah, I mean that's Disney. But
There was a guy on the
and-
rig with that knew every Willy Wonka song.
But I didn't realize.
fucking back to front, front to back, fucking the whole thing, melody and everything. And he would sing them while we're drilling on the rig. I'm like, dude.
But
you
I
need to
didn't
chill the fuck
realize
out.
until I got to until I started like doing theater in college, where I was just like, man, these people are crazy about Disney. Like it's part of that. It's part of the gay culture. It just was a thing, and I
mean,
get it.
Sure.
But
I
then
mean,
it went too
still liked it.
crazy because they came for the children.
What?
They came for the children.
What does that mean?
I mean, they sexual innuendos to children, and then like there's some stories about Nickelodeon too, man. Like the okay, you ever wonder why most of the movie stars that started out as child stars
Our fucking Rex as
yeah,
humans whenever they get
they
up
became
older?
adult film star or not adult film stars, but they became adult movie stars, and they're still all fucked up, and they got fed like through the system. Well, I mean,
You mean like Corey Feldman?
yeah, and then others.
Yeah.
I mean,
I was just giving one example, but yeah.
I came to a speculative conclusion, but I was just like, wow, Disney was the doorway because I mean, who came through that? Miley Cyrus,
Justin Timberlake, he's fine.
is he?
I mean,
We don't know. I mean, he might
I
be.
mean,
Right.
we could.
Britney Spears, Mouseketeer.
Christina Aguilera,
Yeah.
he's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
What else you got? Yeah, that's what I thought.
Nothing off the top of my head.
Exactly.
So
You ain't got shit.
okay.
You give me one example, I'll give you another one.
Okay, great.
Love the Mickey Mouse
Whatever.
Club.
But on the back end, back to
See,
Elon
that's
Musk.
the same political bullshit. It's like, oh, okay, I don't want to hear that shit. Let's move on
I'm
to
not
the
trying
stuff
to
that I
deflect. I
know.
figured we were coming to a segue point.
No, I'm kidding.
Come on,
I'm just fucking with you, dude.
be nice. Okay.
I don't want to be nice. Being
Yeah.
nice is stupid. No, this is what I. No, fuck that.
I'm not mad. I just felt like yelling.
Yeah, then fucking yell. I don't care.
Ah!
Yeah.
I don't know why. That felt good.
Yeah. See, what I don't understand is
But I
like
didn't crash anything.
anytime yeah, to make sure that we don't lose sound again.
Well, we won't. Yeah, we won't lose sound in the audio portion. We're still going. We're still recording.
All right, so And you're kind of far away from the mic anyway.
Yeah, I did it right.
Yeah, but the thing is,
Yeah,
is
it's
that
done. Yeah, that's how you do
the
it.
one thing that bothers me, not the one thing, a part.
A thing that bothers me.
Yes, I think. Give me a beer, please. A thing that bothers me about the political conversations that people have, which, whatever. Hey, you want to have this conversation? I'll have it with you. I'll have a nice, rational shit. I'm not going to pretend to know about shit I don't know about. Whatever. What I've noticed in a lot of political conversations is that as soon as you start talking or you combat them with something, they completely disregard a factual comment.
Are you speaking from Are you speaking from like current experience? Is it any conversations you've had with somebody where kind of that's what happens?
Yeah, but I
They
mean,
just kind of shut down.
I don't really have a lot of political discussions because it's not my world.
Right. No, I get it.
But what is my world is
I don't either. Like
is having conversations.
lately, it's just been like I've been finding people in the tribe. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, okay, we can talk about this comfortably.
No, but
okay,
the thing is that like I'll talk to anybody about anything and whatever. If you want to go there, and I'll tell you stuff that I know about. I'm not going to pretend to not know about. I'm not going to pretend to know about shit I don't know about, unless I'm trying to be a dick just for fun. But for the most part, I'll just sit there and listen to them and say, "Oh, okay. Well, this is what I heard about this. Well, okay. Well, this is why you're wrong." And it's like, "All right. Well, that doesn't make any sense. So I'm just going to say fuck you to that, and I'll just whatever." Because if it makes complete sense, I will absolutely say, "Oh, okay. Well, I guess I had that wrong." Doesn't matter if you're Democrat, Republican, whatever the fuck you are. If you're a goddamn octopus, I don't care. If you say something,
there aren't going to be many rational thinking Democrats.
Okay,
left.
well, we're just gonna
as we go forward.
Okay, we're gonna pump the brakes on that. That's not what I'm getting at. I'm talking about people in political discussions. I'm not talking about just Democrats because I know you have a fucking axe to grind against them. That's fine.
Not really. It's just like I just saw how crazy shit was getting.
It just seems
and what
like
scared the shit out of me most is people were following it blindly. You know,
yeah.
It was just like that's, and I guess that's easy to do when you make everybody sit at home and they literally just kind of get trapped in their own echo chambers. And if you're stuck on social media all the time, which caters to one bias.
But you understand that echo chambers goes more than one way, right?
Absolutely. But dude, like,
because like I'm gonna tell you right now, because I'm not gonna give a shout out to this person. I'm not gonna fucking do act like anybody fucking listens anyway. Well, that's not true. We actually do have some listeners. Thanks, guys.
Oh, we do.
Mm-hmm.
About time.
But what I am saying is, like the guy that you showed me, the guy with the hat and the thing and whatever. He was
Don the Pleb.
I mean, I wasn't trying to say him because I was going to say some unkind things, but yeah.
Who, NRX? Mr. NRX?
Whoever that self-righteous fucking dickbag was, I didn't like him.
Yeah?
Yeah, I listened to what he had to say.
Yeah.
And I listened to it all the way through, and before I made my judgments, I was like, you know what? I'm going to listen to this one more time, just to be sure.
Yeah.
It seemed like he was more into listening to himself talk because the way that he was presenting himself. Because he's not just like, hey, I'm going to say this. He's like, I mean, it's like everything that I'm doing is right. And
well, to a degree, that's kind of what happens when you get an audience.
And
he does have
cool.
a lot of support from an audience,
and that's good.
And I'm not surprised that's happened, and I can see how you perceive that because I picked up on the guy like half like it was well into lockdowns and all that shit.
Yeah, and the guy's like fucking,
and he is pretty. I mean, his viewpoints are pretty extreme, and he's pretty ruthless. But at the same time,
but no, like
I mean, that is the
ruthless is one thing. Ruthless is one thing because I can appreciate ruthless.
Yeah,
but
you think he's radical?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I don't appreciate that because that's not what we need. We got enough radicals in this fucking country. You're like, oh, the only way we're going to... No. The only way that we're actually going to come together and do this shit...
we talk?
...correctly is we sit down and we actually have a conversation with people who actually listen to each other. But you get people like that, you can tell... Like, I don't give a fuck. Obviously, it's my opinion because I'm fucking saying it.
That particular stream, though,
in my opinion,
just him talking, though.
I understand. But everything about that screams a Democrat's going to come over to him, talk to him about it, and he's not going to listen to a fucking word they have to say.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter if it's rational, and it doesn't matter if it fucking makes sense, because you got to understand is that everything is like I don't know what I am. I don't.
But to be fair, there is a reason why people become that polarized. In his background,
Because
in his background, he actually grew up in California.
okay, cool.
And
So
I'm just trying to give you some more context on the man.
okay, yeah, I'm listening.
Yeah.
Let's hear it. I know.
He grew up in California.
Okay.
He did serve in the Corps.
Okay.
And he, went through all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And he has read a lot.
Okay. People like to read. That's fine. Okay.
And he does have conversations with other people.
Okay. I'm just talking about like how that came across. Scream like I'm not going to listen to shit except this side, and I'm right. I called it. Like, dude, chill. Whatever. People can get all fucking happy, but the thing is, like,
You think he's wrong though?
it's not about right or wrong.
Okay.
This is what it's about. Because yes,
Scary thing is, what if he's right?
it's true. But the thing is that how do you fix it? You don't fix it by sitting there like walking around talking about how right you are.
Well, it's Well, I mean,
It's conversations.
he does have those, but I think he's resigned himself to a man that will fortify his house and say fuck everything else.
Mm-hmm.
And there are plenty of people like that. He's also had other military types on his thing, and they were talking about it, like your veteran types or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't just one-sided. I haven't just listened to this guy just bark away. Like, he's had conversations with other people.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like I don't want to have somebody who's just ready to refute everything you have to say before you even say it. That shit's fucking infuriating.
Fair enough, but at the same time, like,
It's one thing to be well prepared for a conversation, but people like him, I look at them and they look like somebody who's like, I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for you to say. You don't know what the fuck's gonna come out of their mouth, but people like that seem like they already know they're gonna say.
well,
And it pisses me off because all you have to do is wait, because you know what? You don't know if that guy's going to come in and just sit down and it's like, you know what? Hey, everything you said was
to
right.
be fair, his stream is his soapbox, and he can have his preachy moments, and he does.
Yeah.
But it's normally when it's just him ranting, and like his streams have actually decreased in frequency because he's pulled away to get involved in politics and do all kinds of shit,
And that's fine. But again, it still doesn't take away from how the person comes across, because I get it. And my way, I come across as a fucking dickhead, and I always will. But the thing is, you know,
really a dickhead.
yeah, but you know me. It's
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
People who don't know me don't
Goofball.
know that. What I'm saying is, if somebody wants to fucking, olive branch, like once they extended olive branch, to have a conversation with someone like that.
Yeah.
Not saying that they're going to budge from their opinions, but they want to explain why they're going to say whatever they're going to fucking say, why they believe it.
Well,
A true discourse isn't, well, yeah, I mean, I believe, it basically just like, yeah, this is why you're wrong, and this is also why you're wrong, and, this is this, and like, no, I want to see two people talk and just like, hey, this is what I believe, this is what I believe. All right, how about this? How about we get a common ground? Hey, let's sit down. Let's see what we can both agree on. All right, cool. Let's move on from there.
he's had talks like that.
Yeah, and then I want to see.
Well, if you go back into his channel, you can see things like that and get things with greater context. You're judging from one stream he did.
You're right.
On the back end of 2 years, and then prior to as well.
Yeah.
Like a lot of his streams get yanked down.
Mhm.
Like he was one of the voices that got ratioed as soon as, especially like after January 6th. He was actually in the Capitol on January 6th. He was streaming.
Not
he was
surprising.
He was doing everything. Pretty involved. But
I just think the people who go
he
too hard.
he didn't go to jail or anything. He's not. He wasn't prosecuted.
No, I'm talking about those people who go too hard one way or the other. Doesn't matter. Like I don't.
Angry guy, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I'm a fucking angry guy too, but him be fucking doing that shit. But also, that's not my.
Well, he
world.
found a platform a while ago, like before YouTube went censor happy. he found a platform long ago, and he kind of developed an audience. And then all of a sudden, YouTube started like cutting his followers. So if you had spent a lot of time building a channel, and all of a sudden our followers started disappearing, and you started losing subscribers in by the hundreds of thousands, you'd be a little pissed too, because that was a steady stream of revenue for the man. And you have only like you start to, you would see how that would affect your thinking and your perception as well. It's like, well, holy fuck, yeah, there is a concerted effort to fucking silence certain voices. Do you get that? Do you understand where I'm coming from there?
I do.
And yeah, so, and you can see how that would make someone angry.
It's true, but what if it wasn't that? Hold on.
Okay.
No, I understand. That's the shit I'm talking about, because automatically you're dismissing it. And I'm not trying to say...
I'm not dismissing anything.
I'm not trying to be
I hear
argumentative.
what you're trying to say, but I'm also trying to give you more context to roll with before you make a
I understand.
judgment.
I made a snap judgment, and until I see more shit, I'm going to stick with it. Because
that was literally on the back end of a whole bunch of shit. That was his first stream in like 2 months, because he literally hasn't been that frequent because his channel was demonetized a long time ago.
Yeah, but see, my point is with a lot of this shit that I hear and see with all this demonetization, censorship, shutting, deleting videos and whatever.
Well, up until the Elon Musk thing, it was a real thing.
Okay,
and that's kind of why.
Hold on, let me just finish my thought.
Sorry.
What I'm saying is, what I'm curious about, and in the realm of possibility, because, all things are technically possible when it comes to this kind of shit. What I'm trying to figure out is how much of it was absolute censoring because we only want to hear this side of the narrative. What if it's not that? I understand that you wholeheartedly believe that it is, and I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying, what if that's not actually what's happening? If it's for another reason entirely.
I would believe I would maybe scratch that surface. But
I understand. No. I'm just talking about,
dude.
Just for funsies.
Even the evidence of late would suggest that that's what the case fucking was.
I
and
understand.
Those motherfuckers at Twitter
that's
were panicking.
Not what I'm saying. I'm saying, what if that's really not the case?
If that's really not the case, then I don't know.
Well, I'm saying
it's really a backwards world, and the majority of reigning voices on major media platforms, even the independent ones, would suggest that suggests that.
Again, you're still trying to affirm that that's what's happening, and I get it. Like, hey, I'm saying I believe you. I'm saying what happens if that's really not the case? Then like,
I mean, it's if that's really not the case, then everything that happened to January 6th was all just crazy shit. That affirms that narrative on that side, that where everybody that raised a voice about censorship or got their fucking shit deplatformed or demonetized, et cetera, that happen to fall on the political side of it are literally just fucking crazy. That's what that says. That's what that means.
Is that out of the realm of possibility?
Not at this point, no. They canceled the president, Greg.
Yeah, I know.
Come on, man.
I know.
You know all the facts. I know you don't. I know there's a part of you that's screaming to not want to believe it.
Well, it's not that I don't want to believe it, because that's not it.
But you got to understand, dude, these tech platforms got built. Ironically, well, that's not even. I'm sorry, that's not even the right term. Just the nature of the beast, like that culture, the tech culture that came out of Silicon Valley. It came out of California, for crying out loud. It came out of Austin. It came out of your liberal places where.
Yeah, but what if it fucking
tech culture is a thing, and it always falls on the liberal side because it's so closely related to arts. And
yeah, but what if it came out of fucking Kansas? That's what I'm saying. Like, it came from California. No shit, it didn't. I'm saying, but they're like, but it was from California.
Because it didn't come from a bunch of farmers working on machines and shit. It came from a bunch of nerds who work in California and play video games all the fucking time. Yeah. I'm sorry. I mean, we have a lot of cool shit because of that. No lie.
Yeah.
But there's an ideology.
See, that still streams from the same conversation we had earlier.
I mean, what I don't. I'm not even sure how we can get to kind of an end game understanding because it is complicated. Because you'd have to like look at it. You'd have to look at it from a long time about. You'd have to like look at it a long time ago from before the time where technology started to accelerate it to really kind of understand culture surrounding all that development. Okay, I put it this way.
So the 30s?
I'm talking about when
40s?
computers started kind of.
So the 60s?
Okay, how about the development of the internet? When the internet first became a thing.
Like when it became a thing or when it became mainstream?
When it became mainstream, but then it
So that
also,
was the
but
90s.
then the 90s, yeah, late 90s.
Yeah.
And then it coasted along through the 2000s, but then at the end of the 2000s, right around 2008, it accelerated and matured and became something bigger because
So you're blaming Obama, is what you're telling me.
well,
Don't look at me like that. Jesus
culture
Christ,
is
I was kidding.
downstream from politics. It's not the other way around.
I mean, I just
Because, okay, there's a simple fact about human behavior and all of nature, if you will.
Oh, let's hear about this fact. I'm ready.
If you create an opportunity, it gets filled, regardless.
Fuck you. Yeah.
You know this.
Yeah, that's right.
Anybody that's grown up in
I was
a fucked up
ready for you to
neighborhood.
say some fucking stupid shit, and I was just gonna bash you. But I mean, you're right. You're right.
Okay, that doesn't relate to directly what we were talking about, but maybe it does. I don't know. It sucks having a bigger picture view. I just,
Well, that's the thing is,
I hate being that guy. I
Well-
hate being this guy.
yeah. The problem that I have with all this shit is the fact that like I'm not trying to be naive about any of this shit. I'm really not.
you're not.
But what I'm saying is, how many of those people, like you, have these big picture ideas?
I felt like I woke up pretty late
Oh,
in
so
the
you
game,
woke.
frankly.
Okay, so
Because I was liberal for a while. Dude, I voted for Hillary in 2016. Come on now.
I'm saying,
I lost my shit just like all them screaming memes. Dude, I've come full circle. I've been all over the spectrum.
what I'm saying is like it's not that. What I'm saying is like I don't understand, like how many thousands and thousands of people over the last 30, 40, 50 years have had these big picture ideas, and none of it came to fruition. And then just like believing till the day they died they were right, and it turns out they're dead wrong, and they don't care because they're not going to let it go. And the problem is that so many people, I don't know, I don't understand if it's more or less now, because social media just, amplified everything, so a lot more dumbass voices are heard now. On the left and the right, all of them, fucking, whether you're a fucking rainbow person or not gay, but you know what I mean, like just if you're just one of those random fucking
Uber Mitch or whatever.
yeah, whatever. If you're whatever you are, whatever side, party, faith, everything that you have in your body, whatever you believe, there's always going to be people who have these big picture ideas, and somebody's fucking wrong. Actually, you know what? Most of them are fucking wrong.
Somebody's right.
There is.
Wrong. There's always somebody on both sides of a trade.
You're right. And what I'm telling you is, who the fuck really knows unless you have all the information? Not hearsay, not the Johnny Depp fucking Amber Heard hearsay shit, which that is the funniest shit that I've seen in a long time.
I would entertain the fact to being wrong, but here's
I'm not talking about that. I'm not saying that at all. I'm talking about in general. In general, most of those people who have big picture ideas, and I know you well enough that you're not one of these people, but most of those ones that have the big pictures who fucking absolutely, for a shadow of a doubt, believe that this is what's going on and this is what happened, it turns out it's complete horseshit, will never turn away from that argument. And that's the fucking problem. Because they can't see shit right in front of their face and realize,
well, that's
oh,
the nature
I was wrong.
That's the nature of radicalization, and that does happen because the human brain is pliable. And unfortunately, we are in an environment now where everything's moving so quick. Everything's moving real quick.
Yeah, but somebody just latches onto an idea. It's like, that's right. I saw one thing that made me right, that confirmed my idea, even though there's 1,000 things that says that it's not. It was like, no. I did research. It's like, yeah, but you could also research the other way. It's like, yeah, but I'm not going to believe that.
You could go back to what I talked about like several podcasts back. You could go back to our archive, and the thing is like what I've been talking about. I mean,
Are things better or worse
I think I'm
from 2 years ago when the pandemic happened? I'm going to say it's better.
it's 50-50. It could go either way, and I'll explain why.
Okay.
Okay, so Elon Musk bought Twitter, right? Okay, that's
Okay.
it. That's
You don't know if that's good or bad yet.
effectively right now on the surface. That's a win because it's well, if anything, it's done that it's re
And by win, I'm
no,
thinking
it's reaffirmed.
win for free speech.
It's
Which
it's
not all free
it's
speech is
charged morale.
Okay.
It's charged morale in
For what side?
the right side of the aisle.
Okay.
But on the other hand, the man who's leading the tech revolution, essentially, arguably, there are other companies, believe you me, but there are other there are other companies that are on the same forefront of innovation, but arguably, there's no one who's got more traction on it than Elon Musk. Can we just, for shits and gigs, just kind of go with that?
Sure.
Well, now you've given that person who has essentially on the forefront of AI development now has access to one of the largest swaths of human data.
Yeah. Also, the same person who wants to put Neuralink in place.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
So, from a bigger picture perspective,
I mean, I love Elon.
outside of
honestly,
politics,
Hey, hold on.
I still think we're probably on the same trajectory we were. It's just that things have changed ideologically. That's the only difference. And things could go either way. It doesn't matter politics, but Orwell himself said that authoritarianism will most likely come from the left. And he was right about that because, for the most part, at least through the majority of the 20th century, the left controlled culture.
You do realize that pendulum's going to swing.
Oh,
the other
I
way.
told you it was going to swing like a double-bladed axe, did I not?
No,
It's going to stick. It's going to fucking stick, bro.
Yeah.
Like, people are pissed. Everyday people like,
and that's not going to be good.
no, it's not.
It's going to be awful.
I had the last fight, one of the last fights I had on Facebook before I deleted the shit off my phone was like, you motherfuckers just don't understand what's coming. Your nightmare begins in January because of inflation. And then it's going to hit real fucking hard. I didn't expect the Elon Musk shit. Like, it's going to hit real fucking hard in November because I've been watching the polls. There's a 4% plus side on the Republican side. And that is more than 2016 levels. It is going to be a fucking monsoon. It's going to be a fucking tidal wave, dude. It's not just a red wave. You're talking about an extreme shift.
Yeah.
Because you
What is
factor in economics. You factor in gas prices. Oh, get this. Fertilizer prices are up 128% right now. You know what that means come harvest time? You think we have an inflationary shocks right now. This is going to be fucking biblical. I'm sorry to scare anybody, but buy extra shit at the grocery store. Start your own garden in your backyard. Just get prepared in case some shit goes down. Because this shit might get fucking ugly. We're not just talking about a 2008 recession. We're talking about I'm not even going to say it. I'm not going to say it.
Okay, so what happens in 5 years?
I don't know. I've
Hold
never
on.
been through it, Greg.
Hold on. Hold on. What happens in 5 years and we're doing the exact same thing we're doing exactly right now?
Well,
It's the
then,
same.
you know what? I'll relax and crack open a fucking beer. It's like, as bad as I thought I was going to get, it wasn't that bad. But that's cool. Hey, guess what? I get to keep all my nice shit. My life's hunky fucking dory.
That's what I'm saying. It's
I'm
like
good to go.
It's like, yeah, there's one thing to be prepared for it.
I'm not hoarding gold in my backyard because you know what happens when a major fucking food crisis happens? The most precious metal becomes fucking lead.
Why?
People want lead, gasoline, blue jeans, and fucking food and water. That's it.
I mean, water's pretty good.
You know what? I mean, Elon Musk hangs out with them fuckers at the World Economic Forum. Make no mistake.
All I'm saying is,
keep your powder dry and your pecker hard. Just handle your shit, but, you know, just prepare and fucking pray. I mean that.
yeah, I know.
I mean that to everybody. Because at this point, like, this motherfucker might get a little too big to handle for conventional means. And you might need a little bit of spiritual assistance, at least a little fortitude. That's all I'm saying.
outside in the last 20 years, outside of 2008.
It happens every 80 years.
Hold on.
Sorry.
Outside of 2008, since we've been alive, we haven't really had it bad.
No, bro. It's been real nice.
Yeah. So that's why I'm like,
It's been terrible.
I don't know.
Even as hard as it got, I was just like, as long as you kept the wheels on the wagon, you could get by.
Yeah, and I don't honestly see much of a change. I just think that voices are amplified and people are saying all the things that.
Well, you could offset a lot of that disaster. Sorry.
Each side, just because of the way social media is and the way technology is now, each side is saying exactly what they want the other side to be, like what they want their base and their people to hear.
It's polarization. That's the definition of it.
Exactly. But do you think that those people up in the higher ups are really trying to fucking break everything down, or are they trying to keep it how it's going?
I keep personally going back and forth. It's like, is it downright incompetence or is it intentional? I'm just like, I just don't know.
That's what I'm trying to get at, dude. Like,
I think, are they so bad?
How is it like? What's so fucking intentional? Because like, what in our society is breaking right now in your daily life, your regular life? Fuck the internet. Fuck what people are saying. What is so different than it was 10 years ago for you? For you. Not for everybody else. Not for all the bullshit that you're reading.
A sack of groceries that used to cost me $25 cost me $75 now.
Since when did it fucking...
At Tom Thumb, bro.
No fucking way. Tom Thumb is way more expensive
I got
than
2
Walmart.
sacks of groceries. It was some fucking bananas. It was some sandwich makings. It was some fucking green juice shit. It was like a thing of chicken. And it was just like, just normal staples I would get at a regular visit at the grocery store. It was $75 fucking dollars.
This is what I get.
It was $70. Sorry, it was $70. And it wasn't a Costco.
Hold on. This is what I'm telling you right now. The same exact amount of shit that I bought 10 years ago is, I think, $5 more now. I buy bananas, just like you. 2 things of fucking chicken. I buy ground beef. I buy shit to make hamburger helper sometimes. I get sausage, cheese, milk.
I know, bro. I shop in Dallas.
Hold on.
So
Carton of eggs.
it could be.
Carton of eggs. And a couple of random things that I need, just for if I want to cook something different. Maybe like a pork sirloin, $50. And it has been, and it was like that a few years ago, and it's still like that now. That's why I'm trying to say, like, I don't know if that's...
Dude, I've seen this. I've seen the price.
Whenever I got on the rig, and I finally found this diet, like, I don't know, 7 years ago, that I do whenever I'm trying to keep myself under control and not be a big fat fuck.
Yeah.
I've been in the same fucking thing. I cheat a lot. I cheat
Walmart?
a lot.
I don't know. I guess have you just always shopped at Walmart?
Yeah.
Well, that could be why.
I used to shop at Tom Thumb when I was a kid, but that was, in 1998.
I haven't been in Central Market for a bit.
But the thing is, like, I've shopped and the price is the exact same. I don't go to any of those fucking hoity-toity bullshit places. I don't do any of that shit. I just go to one fucking place, and I've been doing the same thing. The same $100 that it used to be whenever I was married is the exact same $100 that it was now. And that was 2015, and that was 7 years ago. It's the same fucking thing. That's why I don't like. I'm calling horse shit. Maybe
have you not seen shrinkflation then? Have you not taken into consideration of shrinkflation, where you actually get less for the same amount of money?
No, I buy the same shit. I'm a creature of habit.
Okay.
I buy the exact same fucking shit. That's what I say. I've been doing the same thing because whenever I went to the rig, I would buy 2 weeks worth of groceries and it would cost me like $110.
Economic
because
reports
all I do now is buy.
Not only economic reports, but I don't know. Personally, my own sticker shock, I have noticed a fucking difference. You could ask my sister. My sister says the same.
Okay, well,
apparently you shop at the same Walmart. I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm gonna go
ask
yet,
my neighbor
Greg.
right now, and I'm gonna see what he says. I go ask anybody
go
else.
ahead.
I'm just telling you, like, my own personal experience. I've done the exact same fucking thing for a very long time, and it's been the exact same. It hasn't changed. The only difference is gas prices are a little higher. They were higher like 10 years ago. They're just as high 10 years ago. Now maybe it was less than that. I don't remember when it was. Maybe it was 6 years ago. Because when the oil field crashed, I think it was 2014.
I'm not denying what you're saying, but
No, I'm just
I've felt the sticker shock. I do know that inflation is well above 7.9% right now. I do know the price of transportation. I look at freight rates every day for bulk.
Oh yeah, you have to. Okay, I was like,
They're
why?
3 times where they were, dude.
Yeah, that's different. That's not a world that I'm in.
Okay,
so I don't know about that.
Okay, so a 55-gallon drum of oil
Yep.
going from Jacksonville, Florida to Anacorte, Washington. Guess how much it was?
$4. I don't fucking how the fuck
100x that.
Okay, $400.
You know what it was back in normal times?
When was normal times?
Before.
So 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Yeah, sure.
2019. Okay.
It'd be $100. 90 something.
Why?
I mean, the it's like the more weight that you move in bulk, like eventually, like if we have a customer that orders like a 275-gallon tote, they always get free freight because there's something about the weight ratios. If the truck is full,
Yeah.
the rates are better. And if you ship a whole bunch of shit from one
I mean, that
from
makes
one
sense.
location,
You're
you
not
get a better
fucking
rate.
Sending 10 barrels in one fucking big ass truck. That makes sense.
But one barrel to Anacorte, Washington was holy fuck, yeah, it was $355. And it used to be like less than $100. From Jacksonville, Florida to the other side of the country. Now that could change going into fucked up places. Just cause
Well, I'm also curious about like how much of that is.
but that shit's almost double. Like your bulk freight movement. That's like almost double.
Yeah, but that also.
Maybe more.
I wonder how much of like fucking.
We're having to adjust our online rates because we normally kind of work that into the price.
Well, yeah, but I'm trying to wonder how much like automation has to do with that.
That would make it cheaper.
No. I'm talking about like. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Yeah, if you have less labor to pay, then you know.
Yeah, but I'm talking.
That's why automation is on the forefront.
Well,
like,
I mean, okay.
that's a veritable arms race.
Obviously, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, but I'm talking about like automation, like getting people out of work. You got less people to fucking do that. Maybe the fucking prices are going up because of that.
That's part of it. That's part of it too. The labor shortage.
Yeah.
There was, and there are people that just
That's what.
There are people that didn't go back to work, so that's part of it too. And like you couple that with the rise in energy prices, that's what causes. And it wasn't the stimulus checks. Like that was nothing. That was
Democrats. They fucked everything up.
Well, they do spend like there's no
Dude,
tomorrow.
I'm kidding, dude. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm just. I just
saying.
wanted to see your eyes fucking start sparkling.
Bulging
You're like,
out.
oh shit, yeah. They're like, fuck them. Fuck everybody. I don't care.
At this point, I've screamed. I've pulled my hair out. I don't care.
No. The one thing that gets me is, and this is
just a voice crying in the wilderness.
well, no. This is what. Out of all the things that actually annoy the shit out of me, this is the one that gets on my fucking nerves more than anything.
What's that?
Whenever I hear people talk about,
I'll let you rant. I gotta pee.
No, when I get people, hold on, I want you to hear this real quick.
Okay.
When I hear people fucking get all pissed off and they're just like, I got in a fight with somebody on this. I got like, dude, you know how many people I get in fights with? Nobody. About anything. Why? Mind your own fucking business. Fucking get after it. And I understand that you gotta pay attention or whatever, but like, how many fucking times are you people getting in fights over? I deleted all
Online, all of them.
Exactly. It's like I deleted all these people on Facebook.
They're not real fights.
I delete people that I don't fucking talk to because it's like, what's the point of you even being there? That's it. I don't fucking get into these political.
I've never unfriended anybody. I've blocked a few.
Yeah, but
I've muted people for a while, but
I block.
I've
people.
never gone as far as to block anybody. Normally, they just end up blocking me because we fight.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's like
my old guitar teacher fucking blocked me.
It's like you can't get into a fight if you don't engage in it.
Right. And that's why I disengaged from Facebook.
But it's like even walking down the street. It's like if I'm walking next to somebody and somebody just wants to start talking about political shit, you know what? This is what you start doing. You know what? I agree with you. Everything you said, absolutely. Just go on your fucking day. Like fuck. Like, why do you need to fight with somebody, a random stranger in the fucking ether
Well, at the point,
for nothing?
Okay, internet platforms aside, the conversation does need to start happening in real life because that's the only way back.
Yes.
That's the only way to.
And that's for fucking.
That's the only way to
people.
turn the.
That's for the
tide.
political people that are fucking well versed in this shit, not in fucking retards. Fucking
No, it should happen.
reading shit on the internet that's probably not even true.
But at the same time, Greg, no, everybody has access to the same information now, and everybody should be.
And a lot of people are. You have to understand it.
There was an election today. Did you know?
No, I knew the fucking NBA playoffs were.
You know who was on the ballot? Like the vote to reduce property taxes.
Good. No.
Dude. For elderly specifically, to increase the homestead exemption.
Taxes, right?
Yes.
Oh, God damn it.
You can't tighten that stuff. I mean, dude, the people that are moving here from liberal places is not going to change. You know why? Because they were driven out of there. And it's either here or the Midwest.
Can we get a Republican fucking governor in fucking...
Can we have balance in Congress for a change?
No.
How about
this? How about we get Republican governor in California? And a fucking...
They tried that with Larry Elder.
I know. I mean, can you fucking turn that shit around so they can go home?
No, that's never going to happen.
Then go to fucking Oregon. Go to Idaho.
This goes back to something Ben Franklin says. The end of the republic is when the end of the republic is when the public realizes that they can literally vote money into their pocket. And what do we have? And guess what? Guess what California recently passed about a month ago? Universal health care for everybody in the state. At a $25,000 increase in tax rates to the average household.
Cool. Go back. That sounds awesome. Go back.
Your average household wouldn't go back if they were already here.
No, go back.
Sorry, dude. People with money that could afford to move, they left, and they ain't going back. It's going to turn into Mad Max.
Dude, you understand, like, every other license plate is some other state that I'm
I understand it, Greg. Now, that's just the new fucking paradigm that you have to deal with. I'm sorry.
Why? I don't want to deal with it here. Go somewhere else. There's 50 states. There's 48 other states.
I think, but the polls show that they're not bringing their politics with them.
I don't care.
Okay.
Stop coming here. I'm tired of traffic. Fuck off. I don't want your bullshit. Who cares about your fucking politics? You understand?
You better hope Elon Musk has good intentions.
Go fucking pee, because I'm gonna get into this shit that I had to deal with today, and it really fucking pissed me off. I mean, not today. It was like 3 days ago, and it's fucking infuriating. I can't deal with this shit anymore. It's like the same fucking. Why do I talk to you, Porter? I don't understand it. This gets on my fucking nerves. Just want to sit around, talk about fucking dumb shit, and be goofy and funny and stupid about all the random shit, and then we start talking about this crap, and I just get pissed off. And I think this is what happens. A lot of people just get pissed off for the dumbest reasons, and then they rant and rave, and they think and they get another bunch of fucking losers following them for whatever stupid ass reason, and they're just like, yeah, I hold that opinion too. I've never read a book before, but that's my opinion, and he's right, and this country has to make a shift. It's like, nah, you know what we need to do? Go back home. Stop flooding places with all your bullshit. Just go back to normal. Like whatever normal was a few years ago. Just go back to that. It's like fucking hug your mom, hug your dad, hug your kids. Tell those dipshits in your fucking political party to shut the fuck up and stop being pieces of shit and just have, keep your best interest in mind. Because I can't take this shit anymore. So what I was getting at, so I was over in.
Have another beer.
Yeah.
Fuck out.
No, I can't chill the fuck out. You already pissed me off.
You're the one who's all worked up.
Yeah, I'm worked up, but I mean, it's gonna stay here. It's not gonna.
Kind of nice. It's kind of nice being on the other end of that.
Oh, you can kiss my ass. All right. So no, this is what pisses me off. Is I
This
was
is
hold
a
on.
segment we call "What Grinds Greg's Gears."
This is what fucking pisses me off because I was in Oak Cliff a couple of days ago,
Oh boy,
and I was
that place is beautiful now.
fuck that place. So I was over there because I knew how it was when I grew up. When I grew up in Oak Cliff, it was kind of a shitty area, and it was whatever, it was fucking gangs and.
Little side note: that's where Lee Harvey started plotting shit when he was fucking living here.
Yeah, but he didn't do it, so it's fine.
All right, he got one shut off.
I mean, yeah, but
He got one.
Yeah, but
The one that went through the neck.
Yeah, sure.
You know,
Maybe.
We should maybe, I don't know. That'd be a good idea for a show.
What? Take a field trip?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So
While it's fresh in our minds, we do a show afterwards. Or
Fucking-
do one live if they'll let us.
yeah, do a fucking. Anyway,
We'll live stream.
this is what pissed me off. So I had to go do work on this person's house. I'm on top of this fucking 2-story building. I'm on top of a roof, fixing everything. And we're talking about line of sight, make sure whatever. And she's like, yeah, well, there might be a problem here in the future. And I was like, what do you mean? Aiming antennas at each other.
Mm.
And I was like, I looked around. I was like, wait a second, this is Oak Cliff. I was like, I recognize this area. I was like, this looks way different. It was like, yeah. And I looked around at all the fucking, fancy little shops and all
Urban
the
renewal.
that fucking gentrified bullshit neighborhoods and shit.
Oh, bullshit.
Yeah, whatever. I
Those
don't.
good things.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, I'm adverse to change. Anyway, I remember when it was scary to go down Oak Cliff.
Right.
Anyway, obviously I wanted it to get better, but not in that way. I mean, it's too. Ugh. I don't know. Anyway, so we were talking about shit, and she was like, "Yeah, there might be a line of sight issue in the future." I was like, "What do you mean?"
They're building a high rise.
What they're gonna do? It's not a high rise, but she's like, "Oh, well, yeah." Developers came in and bought this entire street of these quaint little houses, kind of shitty, but not the greatest houses, but kind of like my house. They look just like this, like 50s house. I mean, kind of taken care of, ish, but families running around doing whatever. They bought the entire fucking street, and I was like, "What? Why did they do that?" It's like, "Oh, well, they're gonna build an apartment complex here." I'm like, "Get the fuck out of here, really?" He's like, "Yeah, bring more people." I'm like, "Dude, stop. We had enough."
I have a.
And I don't like the idea. Think of this street right here. They bought because these are all quaint little cool houses. They're older and whatever, and that's fine. If you want to bulldoze this motherfucker and put a more modern house up, it's still a family house. Do that. But you're building all this shit, and you're just bringing more fucking business types, fucking all the bullshit, and I don't want it.
To give you an idea of how unstoppable it is, Greg.
That's why I'm moving to the woods. I'm not kidding.
And now you kind of understand what people do. But
we have a fucking. I have a line on fucking 12 acres.
You better grab it.
Oh no! Oh, I'm gonna.
You better grab it quick before Bill Gates does.
Oh, fuck off. And fuck Bill Gates. He can come. He can kiss a bag of dicks.
Yeah,
if
you
he's
get
gotta say
mad all you
something-
like, but I have some news for you, buddy.
Oh fuck. Oh, here comes the good news bear. Awesome.
I just wanted to give you an idea of how inevitable stuff is.
Death isn't inevitable.
Yeah, so is change in taxes. But I was in Shreveport, Louisiana, and guess what? I was driving from the warehouse. I just wanted to take a drive, take a look at Shreveport, see what's different. It's pretty depressing now, but at the same time, I was driving towards the north side of town, where I lived as a kid. And sure enough, I can't remember where it was, but guess what I saw? I saw a Berkshire Hathaway real estate sign.
The fuck's that mean?
Berkshire Hathaway is the company that Warren Buffett owns.
Okay. So
They're one of the largest investment. They're not just an investment firm, but you know who Warren Buffett is.
I know who he is. I'm just talking. All I know is Virgin Mobile. That's all I know. Or Virgin.
No, Warren Buffett. They own a lot. Warren Buffett has been building his fortune since the 20s. He's referred to as the Oracle of Omaha. If you own Berkshire
The
Hathaway,
20s. That would make him 100 years old.
almost might have been early 30s. Either way, that's how long he's been investing. He's been
investing
since he bought his first stock around 12 or 13.
There's no way Warren Buffett's that fucking old.
He's 95 or 6.
That same dude with the fucking long blonde hair and am I thinking of the same guy?
I don't know that you are. No, you're talking about Richard Branson.
That's who I'm thinking of.
He owns Virgin.
That's the one. Okay.
He's
I have a
much
different
younger.
guy. Okay.
He's like 3 decades.
All right, keep going.
younger.
Yeah. I was like, there's no. I was
sorry.
like, that guy's like 50 or 60.
Warren Buffett is one of the oldest investors that ever was. Like, the dude's been investing almost as long as the stock market's been around. He bought his first stock around 11 or 12. He started building his fortune by he had pinball machines in bars,
Hell yeah.
and he would just
He just that pinball fucking place. What was that place called?
it's called Pinballs.
Pinballs. Yeah, that place is awesome.
But it's gone now.
What?
The pandemic killed it.
Was it Democrats?
Well, it was lockdowns.
I'm kidding, dude.
I don't know. I mean,
No,
Democrat-run city. What do you expect?
Dude, the pandemic took away my favorite pizza place. So
Took away I Love Video. It was like one of the I've talked about this before.
That's right. Yeah.
It was like one of my regulars. They had free beer on Tuesdays, and you could go get any movie. Now, you have to find it on Amazon. Or they had a $2 movie sale at Half Price Books. That might be going on a weekend at the one in Dallas near my place. But no, Warren Buffett is one of the oldest investors alive. And that man owns Berkshire Hathaway. Berkshire Hathaway owns pretty much just about everything of every asset class that ever was. Between real estate, stocks, bonds, this, that, and the other. They're almost as big, if not as big, as Vanguard or BlackRock. And just like in Austin several years ago, around 2008, post-crash, Berkshire Hathaway started buying up pieces of foreclosed land and houses, etc., real estate. And now they're buying it in Shreveport, Louisiana, my podunk-ass town that I grew up in. Oh, and guess what else? It's coming to Shreveport, Louisiana. An Amazon fulfillment center. It will create jobs, but there's no stopping this thing. There's no stopping this monster. It's already rolling. And every time you have an economic recession, downturn, a flood of people on unemployment, a flood of housing foreclosures, a flood of businesses failing because of bad policy, etc., well, the companies and people with money will roll in and grab the opportunity because it's there. Because this goes back to what I said about 30 minutes ago.
Is that
when you create opportunity, it always gets filled.
Look at you. Fucking the I'm right machine over there.
I'm waiting to be wrong.
You're wrong. You just don't know yet.
Will you let me know when that happens?
All right, right now.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. I don't know, man. You're right about this shit that's just an unstoppable
It's
force.
It's a snowball. It's a snowball, and I still stand on my statements. I do know that 2030 is in our fucking crosshairs. It's not far off. Time moves so fast now.
Well, no shit, dude. I mean, like,
it's getting to the point where it's just like, yeah, trust in stuff outside, like the realm of what we see, and smell, and touch, and taste every day.
Yeah, grilled cheeses. It's my favorite.
That's something you can touch. Yeah, whatever.
Okay, unicorns.
You ever seen one?
In my heart.
Fair enough.
And on my daughter's bookshelf, there's lots. She has so many books on unicorns. It's almost unnerving.
It's good to get lost in imagination. And that's why the first Willy Wonka will always rule, like the original, with Gene Wilder.
Well, yeah, not.
And that's back when
Not that
I don't think Disney was the original studio that produced that film. I think it was MGM.
That's a good question.
I think it was MGM.
Hold on. Let's.
It wasn't. I don't think it was Disney. They might own the publishing to it now.
Well, yeah, but I mean that's not who initially did it.
Yeah,
Let's see.
no.
Willy
I
Wonka,
believe it was created by
1971.
MGM or some other studio.
Warner Brothers.
Close enough.
Distributed by Warner. No, but I mean
it wasn't Disney.
It wasn't Disney. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't matter.
But they own it now.
I don't give a fuck. I love fucking Willy Wonka, and I like
it's a great
Disney.
movie.
I like Disney. Everybody.
Lots
else
of lessons still be learned from that movie.
Yeah, don't go down a tunnel with Gene Wilder. Fuck that. Never doing that shit.
That was fun in the Thor movie.
When they were doing the same kind of thing.
They paid homage to it. It was brilliant.
Oh, that shit fucking. I was like,
that was the most. That
talk
one.
About bringing nightmares back from when I was like 5.
What was the name of that one? It wasn't the Dark World. It was Ragnarok.
Yeah.
That was
With
the
Jeff
funniest.
Goldblum.
That was the funniest.
Oh, it was hilarious.
All the Marvel movies. And now that we're on the back end of
well, hold on.
the
wait,
MCU.
wait. Let's just.
I mean, we're not on the actual back end of it. But
hold on.
I think it's.
Let's take a step back from this. Because I'm not disagreeing that it wasn't the funniest, but I'm trying to think.
I had Jeff Goldblum in it, dude.
Oh yeah, I know.
It was hilarious.
No, it was amazing. I'm just sitting there trying to think: is that really the funniest one? I mean,
Yeah, that's for me.
Yeah, it kind of was.
It's the only one where I like gut busted laughing.
Yeah, dude, that
because it was the perfect movie before.
I like how
it was perfect movie before like the veritable Armageddon that was the last Avengers, and you know what I mean, Endgame and
no,
the one before it.
Don't talk shit about Infinity War. Infinity War.
I'm not. No, they were brilliant movies.
Endgame was.
Which one do you like better? Do you like Infinity War or Endgame better? I like Infinity War because that's where you introduced the stakes, and then you had to figure out. As a writer, you had to figure out how to resolve it.
And
okay, we're going to turn it into a time heist.
Not only that.
Whatever.
No. Infinity War is like
lazy.
No, Infinity War is like.
Endgame was kind of lazy, to be fair.
No, hold on. I have very strong.
Infinity
opinions.
Was fucking great.
I have very strong opinions about this. Infinity War was probably their best one.
Yes.
And not only that, it's like.
It was so good that they can't get back to that level anymore.
What was the
because you spent 10 years building the thing.
It was like the Empire Strikes Back. It's like they lost. It's like fuck.
And it took like almost 10 years later before Return of the Jedi came out to resolve the whole trilogy. But it was
no, it wasn't that long. It was because it was 77, 80, and then 83.
Okay, well.
Yeah. Oh, I love the Holy Trilogy.
Yeah, but it's a complete story in and of itself.
But hold on. Let me get back. So, Endgame, you're absolutely right. It was fucking lazy. They just wrapped it up real quick.
We just go back in time and fix stuff.
And not only that.
You don't get to do that.
You saw the fucking.
Not that I didn't like it.
The political shit kind of like, they kind of like dipped their toes into it. I'm like.
That was the beginning. Okay, so
hold on. God damn it! Don't you fuck with me on MCU.
I'm not trying to fuck with you on MCU. I just have a movie I just recently saw that really just
I'm talking about goddamn
home run it home for wokeism for me and poor Vince Vaughn.
Anyways, we're just gonna pump the brakes right there.
I'm pumping
them. I'm saying that like
I'm clicking this hybrid into
B
mode.
You just got a hybrid. And it's a fucking badass.
This one doesn't have B mode. The Camry had the B mode.
No, I'm just saying you have a hybrid, and it's fantastic. It's a fucking beautiful fucking SUV.
Yeah.
RAV4s for the win. I like it.
You're
never going to beat fucking old school muscle to me. Never in a fucking million years. But anyway, back to fucking MCU. Not the only thing, one of the biggest things that bothered me is they're all like at the end. And if I shouldn't have to say spoiler alert because everybody's seen this fucking thing, and it's been a couple of years.
You got Disney Plus. Fucking stop it now. Well, you can hit pause and watch it. Whatever, it's fine. Fuck them. Keep talking.
What I'm saying is, what bothered me with like they're all gearing up for the fight and everyone's losing their fucking minds, like, oh, especially when Captain America goes, Avengers assemble. Like, fuck yeah. Everybody
with
lost their shit.
The ladies at the end, like, go
What?
Girl power.
That shit pissed me off.
Girl power.
It's
It
like,
was.
it's
I
not,
don't know. Gwyneth Paltrow in the Iron Man costume's pretty hot.
No. It's not. It has nothing to do with that. It was just like, in what world, when you're gearing up for you're like, all right, we're gonna attack these motherfuckers. Let's just have all girl fight. Like, what? Hold on. What the fuck? When does that happen? You have all these mythical beings running around doing all their crazy shit, trying to fuck off, and you're just like girl on girl action. Like, where the fuck that come from? It's like, I know what you're doing. Don't do that shit, man. Just fucking have her fucking start fucking up Thor, or I mean, the fucking Proxima Midnight. Have her going after that. Why? Why was that absolutely necessary for them to just do that shit? That shit pissed me off. It took away from the movie, honestly, for me. That was just it was
Pulled
it
you
was
out
so,
of it for a moment.
Yeah, I mean,
it was wedged in.
but
there.
to be fair, like the movie was just like you said. I couldn't put it better. It was lazy, and I was so much looking.
And
forward
when you
to
think
this.
about it, it only takes place in one place. I mean, despite they go to the various spots in the timeline.
As far as the dramatic,
but
action,
it all happens in one. Like the stuff in the present all happens in one location.
the one dramatic thing that was actually amazing in the movie is when Hawkeye, Jeremy Renner, and fucking Scarlett Johansson, they were actively fighting each other to try to kill themselves. Like,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
and I'm like, oh my god,
That's conflict.
This
That's
fucking-
emotional investment conflict. That's a story in and of itself. That's literally a short film.
and that was amazing.
Yeah,
like the
because
whole entire
as long as you know
movie,
the stakes going into it, that is the
If I'm
definition
gonna-
of like a story.
if
in
I'm
and
gonna
of
pick
itself.
one part of that movie out where I'm like, this is a great movie. Just watching that scene, it's like, oh my god, this is amazing. Like,
that's a whole movie.
it breaks your heart watching it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god.
Yeah,
It's
there's
like
so much relationship.
it's like
it's
listening
got all
to
those
Adele.
pillars. It's got all those pillars I learned in drama. It's got them all. It's got relationship. It's got conflict. It's got mystery and secret. It's got fucking resolution and then like stakes as well.
Yeah.
Like you got all
love a
those
steak.
things, and
Yeah.
that's that's how you tell a good story in just a few frames.
I mean, and that's all it was. It was just one
It's
scene.
like maybe a 5-minute scene.
It's a
but
5-minute scene, and that honestly,
but it's an eternity,
it-
and they're literally like fighting in eternity.
yeah, yeah,
It's like Dark Tower shit,
yeah.
right
Except
there.
only,
I mean that in and of itself, like that, the epicness of the fucking. I mean, that could have easily you could have just like taken the fucking Dark Tower and put it there.
yeah. The only problem is that that 5 minutes was better than that entire movie.
The movie adaptation of Dark Tower, absolutely.
Not adaptation, because
Like
only,
it's
there
that
was only-
that was actually my
there was only one movie of Dark Tower, and that entire piece of shit.
that
Those 5 minutes are way better than that.
after I saw.
God damn, we can't go one fucking podcast without talking about Stephen King, can we? God damn it.
Yeah, we can.
It's my fault.
We went a few.
Maybe like 3
We went a few.
and like 30.
No, after I saw Infinity War, my only Facebook post in relation to it was not a review of the movie. I watched Kevin Smith's, which he's kind of a cuck. But anyways, no, my
I mean, who isn't these days?
yeah, he's an whatever.
I mean,
But
you're
no,
almost
my-
a fucking
my-
doppelganger of him, so I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah, shut up. I'm not as silent.
No.
But no. My only comment after I saw Infinity War was Marvel should have done the Dark Tower. It's like, why didn't they?
No shit.
It's like you literally.
That is a good.
It's
fucking-
already
that's
all
a
the
good
work is
thought.
already done. Like all the story work is done.
You just gotta hire the fucking
All you
characters.
gotta do is just go, copy, paste, and cast well.
I mean,
That's
yeah.
literally all you have to do.
I mean, all you know, if you
people
want
are
to,
stupid. It's like nobody
if you want to
reads.
condense it into a 2-hour movie, one book per movie.
That's it. That's it. Yeah. You could theoretically you could do a trilogy,
Nah,
but there is a lot of story there.
no.
I don't know.
can't.
You could condense Wastelands quite a bit
That's like fucking,
because a lot
that's
of
like
it.
making The Stand into one fucking book. One movie. You can't do it.
Well, yeah, but the Wastelands, like a lot of it is development. It's a lot of it is anticipation of the thing,
Yeah, but that
and it ends epically. So it's like,
that,
yeah,
I know, but that's the thing.
that's kind of
But
like.
see,
one of those
honestly,
books.
that's the laziness of movies these days. It's
Yeah.
because you don't have that. Where You know,
it's so lazy. You can make anything happen on screen.
yeah, fucking let's see them just sitting around talking shit, trying to figure out fucking codes and fucking puzzles and shit with that evil train.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
That'd
want
be
to see
dope.
that. It's dynamic.
It's like nobody reads. Nobody reads.
It's like,
Nobody listens to like good audiobooks. That's why I've kind of gone back to reading old stuff. I started reading I went and bought for $20 the complete fiction of H.P. Lovecraft. And you know what? He's
okay. Oh, no, I'm thinking of the.
he's a good storyteller.
Who's the Scientology guy?
That's L. Ron Hubbard.
That's who I was like.
I'm
why?
never gonna read one of those books.
That's who I
ever.
thought you were talking about. Like, why, dude?
No,
why?
bro. No, you know me better than that.
Yeah, I know. That's why. That's what I thought you. That's what, like, in my head. That's what I thought you were saying. I'm like, the fuck, man.
And even though H.P. Lovecraft was like one of the more outspoken racists, and I think they tried to cancel him like a couple years ago. I read an article. It's like, it's time for us to talk about H.P. Lovecraft.
Is it? Is it time?
It doesn't matter. He's fucking dead, but you're still making movies based on his shit.
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage did a movie about 4 years ago called The Color Out of Space. No, it was 3. It was 3.
No, you know what was funny is I was watching this Ben Shapiro thing, and the guy was like, just some fucking loser, woke dipshit. And he comes up and he's like, okay, and his point was,
Oh, is this most recent video?
it was kind. It was.
I think we watched the same video.
Well, he was like, let's talk about the 1930. Well, I'm like, why? Something like Mississippi flood. Why? What the fuck does that got to do with right now? Yeah. And he was talking about like how trauma is pushed on. I'm like,
Yeah, and it somehow excuses behavior into
I'm like,
the present.
dude, what the?
No, I get it. Yeah,
It's like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude?
and that's the same old bullshit. Like,
Yeah, I
the
really don't
same
want to just
bullshit.
fucking back
People, I mean that shit ran rampant.
in. Okay, yeah,
We're done there.
Yeah,
I mean,
we're done.
we
with
don't have
that.
to go into that.
No, I was just saying, just like, it's like, what are you doing? Why? Why? How is that relevant? It's like, okay, you remember in 1734, whenever some guy did something fucking stupid, I'm still feeling.
It's because
the effects of that.
victimhood somehow became meritorious, I guess, at some point in culture, and people ran with it for the past half decade. So that's part of it, you know. What struck home for me was it's on HBO Max if you can watch it. It's a movie called Freaky. That's a horror movie, but it's kind of a horror movie take on the Freaky Friday. You know, where the
No. I remember it with Jamie Lee Curtis. What was the old
and then
one?
Lindsay Lohan did it like too later on.
No,
where
that's
it's
the one.
this-
That's
it's-
the one that she did with Jamie Lee Curtis.
Right,
What was the
right.
one before? Do you remember? her?
It was
Was that the fucking
it was older.
the
like-
twins?
Yes, I
Yeah.
think so. Well, it's a swapped identity, but they did it with a high school girl and a serial killer.
Oh shit!
And I don't
Cool.
want to.
No, well, just
yeah,
leave-
cool premise, right? Yeah, no, I watched it. I finished it, but then it got woke as fuck at the end. Like literally, you could have ended it before that, but you
And
literally
it would have been an awesome.
you
movie.
literally had it watchable. It was kind of woke, but then they literally like stuck the fucking
Okay, so up until
At the ass
no,
end of
hold on.
it,
I'm
yeah.
talking about before that point. It was an awesome movie, or is it?
not awesome, but watchable and entertaining enough to get
I
through.
think we watched enough stupid shit to say that a lot of things.
entertaining enough to
watchable.
get through, and God, you're feeling for Vince Vaughn the whole fucking time.
Oh, that's the.
And then at the end of it, you're like, "Oh, you poor motherfucker!" Like it's the woke thing could be distilled into that one moment in the thing, and I don't want to spoil it. And I do
Alright.
encourage you to watch it.
Yeah.
You're gonna be pissed off when you finish it, though,
yeah,
and you'll understand.
I'll watch it after Alyssa goes back to her mom's.
And I highly recommend. I don't know if you've gotten this far and you like the shit that we talk about, and you appreciate these takes. Maybe give that a shot, and just know you've been warned.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
It's on HBO Max. It's called Freaky.
I like it.
Clever premise, but still had an agenda.
Yeah, I'm done with agendas. I can't do that. You know what?
Well, you never had one.
No, I'm too silly.
There's a difference between having an agenda and a task. A challenge to overcome type of thing.
Well, I have a challenge, but
You
they're
know?
all personal challenges.
Yeah, the virtue signaling bullshit is, it doesn't count for anything in the real world. Your victimhood doesn't get you anywhere. That's at the end of the day. That's literally what it is. You don't get a prize for being the victim. Like you don't get a prize for being the most victimized.
It's the same shit I've been saying for a long time
in the planet.
Hey, the same shit.
No one ever won a prize for making excuses. A real prize.
Hold on. Like it's the same shit I've been saying for a long time. Go out there, go bust your ass, go fucking sweat, go fucking make your muscles sore, go do some hard shit. You're not gonna give a fuck about this stuff.
Go carve something out of wood,
dude. Seriously,
go make a sculpture. Just go get yourself a hammer, a chisel, and a rock, and make a fucking chess set.
Oh, hey, do fucking like
Andy Dufresne in the Shawshank Redemption.
That's exactly what I was thinking of.
I mean, you got time on your hands.
I mean,
fair enough.
Instead of fucking dicking around worrying about shit that doesn't actually affect you, why don't you go out there and fucking do something with your life? You know what? I got a better idea, which would completely affect
the people that
what we're trying to do.
This show.
Hey, yeah. All I'm saying is, maybe why don't you chill the fuck up off fucking technology for a little bit?
Yeah, detox from all your platforms. Do oodles.
Yeah, because all this shit, it's bad for you. You know how much better I feel whenever I fucking completely disconnect and I just go for a run? Which is all the time because I'm not really on shit. Like, I don't have video games. I'm not fucking, it takes me a week to get through a movie because I'm so fucking busy. Like, the last time I binged anything was Yellowstone, and that was 2 months ago. And I know it's not a long time, but before that, it's been a long fucking time.
Worth binging.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's about the only thing on TV worth binging lately.
Yeah, I heard the new Ozark's pretty good.
Yeah, I binged through season 3
Yeah, I watched
three during the pandemic. Which was it, 2 or 3? It was 2. I can't remember.
Either way, but I mean, it's a good show. But just take a fucking. If you're listening to fucking old Uncle Greg here, take a fucking break from all of this shit. Stop getting online. Stop fucking checking what other people are fucking doing. Worry about your own. Mind your own fucking business. Do your own shit. Do something. Go fucking fix a fence. Go fucking plant a fucking plant or some flowers or some shit. Go do something constructive with your life. Stop being a fucking failure and worried about everybody else and what you don't have. Worry about fucking what you got. All the cool shit that you do have. Even if it's just a cool sock and that's all you got. Worry about that. Instead of fucking worrying about, well, this person said this. Who gives a shit? Fuck them. Say, hey, you know what? You're right. Everything you just said was right. Go fucking go on with your day. Fuck them. Don't get in a fight with these idiots. Just go fucking do your own shit. All these people are like, I have to create. No, the fuck you don't.
Well, it's okay to create.
No. But I'm talking about I have this content. You know what? Most of the content is horse shit. Nobody wants to see your stupid ass fucking dancing in sweatpants. Fuck off.
Oh yeah. You're talking about TikTok.
No, I'm not talking about TikTok. This shit's on Facebook.
How about you create something that's how about you shoot shit for an hour and then cut it down to 5 minutes?
Or I got a better idea. Stop wasting your fucking time. How about you learn a fucking viable skill?
Tell a story.
Yeah. Tell a fucking story. That's a good one. You can fucking start making up some shit. You know what?
And if you don't have any stories, read old ones.
And you know what? Hey, I got a cool idea. Just like you were talking about. Learn how to whittle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go fishing. Leave your phone in your fucking car and go fishing. Hang out. Engage. Talk to your family. Talk to your friends. Talk all kinds of fucking stupid shit.
Read a book. Imagine
read a book.
A bound book with pages.
Read an actual book. You know,
pick it up. I know it's gonna be hard, but you know what? You pick it up. You read for 30 seconds. The next day, pick it up. Try to read for a minute.
No, the problem is that even fucking just engage. If you're gonna go out and night out with your friends, and you don't have I understand if you have a babysitter and you need to keep your phone on you, just in case. But if it's not them, don't fucking pick it up. Don't look through fucking social media. Don't look at all the other bullshit. Hang out with your friends. Drink beer, talk shit, fuck off, and just have a good time. Stop fucking looking at your goddamn phones. It's pissing me off. I'm getting tired of walking into any other place wherever they're just sitting there bored and they're staring at their phones.
Lights on faces.
There's an entire fucking row of people sitting at wherever place, make it a bar or a
It's
fucking
like, you know how much cool shit used to happen before our faces were buried in those screens?
everything.
It took a little time between events, but I mean, what would happen was this shit would kind of raise to a momentum, and then
think about road
things
trips.
would just be amazing.
Think about road trips.
You would listen to your
How many
favorite.
times
You would listen to whole albums.
No, look at some fucking people. Like, you go on a road trip. Let's say, hey, me and you, we're going to fucking, I don't know, Michigan, just because.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. How many of those people that would say the same thing where they wouldn't fucking mess with their phones? None of them.
There were no phones to mess with.
It's like, dude, I remember we had a flip phone, and just like I printed the shit off of I don't know, maps, or even just had the what was the old
Atlas.
big Atlas
Atlas Roadmap.
had that, and we was just like, hey, we're just gonna figure this shit
Rand
out.
McNally.
And then we just
Those poor bastards went out of business.
and all we did was just talk shit, fucking trying to figure out where the fuck we were going, and it was just us. I'm not reaching out to fucking everybody. I'm not texting every other fucking on the planet. I just want to hang out with my buddy, and if it was something important, then I'll tell it. Guess what? 99% of the shit that you find important, I bet it's not important.
Make your own story.
Exactly. All right, boys and girls.
Yes. This was a wonderful return episode. More to come in the future. And we're bringing back video because I'm going to go get that damn capture card.
Yeah. And
Anyways.
well, I think we'll probably get another one next week.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey.
Anytime.
Yep. So
Come back. Same bat station.
same bad time.
Same bat channel. Yes.